What's happening, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing well today, man. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're enjoying your day. Hope everything's going well. Hope everything is all right with you. Just going to get a little bit of drawing in for about 10 minutes or so. Just kind of dialing in some of these lines here, slowly adding them. I probably went a little too thick, but that's fine. These anime characters and stuff, you can't go wrong with having the lines a little thicker. Especially with cartoons, their lines are pretty thick. All the cartoons typically have like those really thick anime lines. I think I'm getting kind of mixed up here because there's some drawing lines right here that are kind of overlapping this area, but that's fine. We're just gonna hope that it kind of goes away. Anyways, it's just another day in paradise here, man. Just doing a little bit of drawing. I'm really happy for it to be here. Really happy to do another little video. I gotta upload a few of them actually. I'm kind of behind actually, and that's okay. There's not that like having like that's like that's not a bad thing to have too many videos that you got to upload, right? For what it's worth. But I guess I wanted to talk about something I was kind of slowly kind of talked about this morning during my live stream. I kind of started talking about it, and I don't know. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit more, and maybe you might get some knowledge or get some wisdom from it. I was one time I was at Gold's Gym before they like broke down. They went bankrupt. I don't see them anymore. But I was at a Gold's Gym one day, and I remember I was in the sauna getting my sweat on. No, I was in the sauna though after working out. Man, the saunas are awesome. They feel so good. They're like it's like a mix between like it feels good but also very uncomfortable. Like it's like it's so hot. Like it's so hot in here. I'm dying. I need some water. Right, so you're sweating in the sauna. But I was in the sauna, and these two dudes were talking, and I think one guy was like a college level baseball player or something, or he was in the minors for he might have been a minor league baseball player. I'm not sure, but there was another guy in there, and I think he was like an MMA trainer or something like that. And he said something. They were talking about sports and such, and he said something that really resonated with me. He said, "You can outwork talent. Like you can outwork talent." And that really resonated with me at the time, and even still now, because it makes a lot of sense. Because it resonates with me because I feel to some extent I was always kind of like the underdog with my drawing and such, especially when I was in college and in art classes in college. I was exposed to some really good artists that I used as I wasn't competing with them, but I was definitely trying to get on their level. I was trying to get at their skill level. And I remember there was an artist there. There was one that was really good. Gosh, he was so darn good. Like everything. He just had a sensitivity to drawing form and value. It was just so good. And it was like in their family, like his sister was just as good. His younger sister. I was like, oh my gosh, what are you guys like breeding artists here? And I remember that he was just so darn good, and I know I couldn't compete with him on that level yet, on the ability to model and render forms, but I know that I could compete with him on just outworking him and doing more than he does, because I know that I could do more. I could obsessively draw. I can't do it now because of like being an adult makes it kind of difficult to obsessively draw unless you're a professional artist where your people are just throwing money at you to buy your artwork, right? And maybe that might be the case when I'm like old and retired. I don't know. But I would obsessively draw, and I would for like every assignment my teacher would give me, they're like, "Oh, here, do a drawing." I would do 3 or 4 or 5. I would just turn in as many as I could. I'd try to do as many as I could in the time frame, and I still didn't think it was enough. Um, of course, I could have slowed down, like the way that I'm slowing down with my artwork now, but at the time, I didn't know how to. I didn't have the patience, and I didn't have the knowledge base to slow down. Like I didn't know, um, like if I were to slow down, I would have just slowed down and not get any progress in the artwork, because I know that I don't know, I didn't know where to go, like visually. If I were to slow down, like if I were to slow down, I could get a drawing done, and I would be at place in the drawing where no action would get done, because I didn't have the visual knowledge base to slow down. I can't explain it other than it's like it's like it's like you only if you it's like you only know how to do addition and subtraction, and then you're caught with a division or a multiplication problem, but you've never been taught how to do addition or multiplication and division. You never been taught it, or you've never been exposed to it, so you don't know what to do, right? And the same thing with art. Like I was not knowledgeable enough to slow down, because I wouldn't know what actions I would need to take to progress the drawing further. So what I did was I would just draw a lot, and I would draw a lot and frequently, because that's all I knew what to do at the time. Like I could just keep drawing, and I could improve my base, improve through volume. Now, some people don't get it. Doesn't some people don't get that. Like they don't get better by volume. I'll hand that to you, but I think the average person who's looking to get better at something is going to get better by doing a lot of something, as opposed to doing a little bit of something. There was this little bitty story, I don't know if it's true, where a professor had split a photography professor split his students into 2 groups. One group they only had to do 1 photo. They only had to make 1 photograph, and the only premise was they have to research all these various techniques and research how to do the perfect photo, research all these other things, and all they had to do was make 1 photo. And then the other group, their parameters was, it doesn't matter what you do, all you have to do, you just have to make as many photos as possible. They don't have to be good photos, they don't have to be great photos, you just have to make as many photos as possible. And what happened was, the group that did as many photos as possible ended up having better photos, because they learned through the act of doing. They learned through the act of exploring that medium, exploring that subject matter, exploring the idea, exploring photography. And that's what I was doing. I was learning through the act of doing. As I said, I know that I couldn't compete with this guy. He was so good. But at the end, I think I built up so many reps that I started like not lapping him visually, but like I started to feel like my work was comparable. You know, it wasn't as refined as his, but it was comparable. And so basically this video is, you can outwork talent. You just got to put the time, and you got to invest the time to just do a lot of that thing and not worry about making mistakes. Anyways, that's it for today. I am going to end this video. I hope you got something from it. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers, my friends.